Hello, everybody. I am nameless because I don't have a name yet. Well, I do have a name that I've already thought of, but that's not important to you. Not yet, at least. But I am going to be. Okay, this is going to be an announcement slash kind of a story video. Okay, so you just roll with it. Fucking roll with it. There will be Minecraft playing in the background because I couldn't find anything else to play. I haven't played like Dirty Bomb in fucking months, so that's not an option. Um, okay. Um, I will be streaming Battlefield 1 on August 31st. YouTube obviously, because I don't stream on Twitch. I don't really ever stream. But I will be streaming on YouTube August 31st of Battlefield 1 when the open beta comes out. And that's just going to be that's going to go on for a while. It's probably going to be like 5 p.m. Central Time, which would be 7 p.m. East Coast and 3 p.m. West Coast. And I don't know like the other numbers for like Canada. Well, Canada's basically the same thing. Never fucking mind. England and all that stuff. I know they're like 7 hours behind me or something. But um, I I will just be streaming just pure Battlefield 1, the open beta. So if you wanna see the Battlefield 1 open beta as early as you possibly can, just check me out on August 31st, which is Wednesday, a couple Wednesdays from now. Okay. And my story will be about I had to get that first announcement out of the way and just ignore my terrible commentary. Okay, my story will be about my first day as a junior in high school, cause that was fun. All right, so I got out of bed, everything was normal. I brushed my teeth. Well, I ate some fucking delicious waffles, Eggo waffles. And then I brushed my teeth, of course. I deodorized. I did everything. I don't shower in the morning, but I shower at night because I don't like waking up extra early to shower. But I walked out, and like the bus stop is right across from my house. And I walked over there, and I was like, oh, cool, my bus isn't here. And like they come to pick me up at like 7:45ish. Or they come to pick up a bunch of kids. And when I got there, I was like, cool, he's not here. And I waited around, and like one of my friends came over. I'm just going to call him Jimmy Bob. And no, I'm not going to call him Jimmy Bob. I'm just going to call him Bobby. And we were just chilling there for like a good 5 minutes, and then the bus came around. And originally I had no idea what bus I was supposed to be, but I went around and asked some of the bus drivers, and one of them thankfully knew which bus I'd be riding. Because it's like a multiple stop, like multiple buses stop there for multiple reasons. I don't know fucking why. And like eventually the bus driver got there. His name just so happens to be Bobby. So me and Bobby get on, and I see another friend. I'm just going to call him Steve because his real name can be taken offensively because it's I'm not even going to get into his name, but I don't want to I don't want to say his real name. So Steve was there. I was like, oh shit, Steve. Like I didn't talk to him like all summer basically, and like we are good friends like during high school or during sophomore year. That's all we basically only hung out with each other during school. But we rode on the bus. He asked me like, hey dude, do you play Pokemon Go? I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't I fucking play Pokemon Go? He's like, Team Instinct? Team Instinct. And like a lot of people are like throwing trash at Team Instinct right now, and I'm just sitting here like, bruh, Team Instinct is probably the least involved with everything, and like we're the chill group, while fucking Mystic and Valor are at each other's throats. And something funny that I found out, Valor actually owns like the Congress and the White House, I think, for their gyms for some reason. That's just kind of funny to me. But anyways, we get on the bus, we go to school, and because our bus driver arrived late, I wasn't thinking, so I thought, oh, like we got into school and everything, and we like sat down in the cafeteria because some people like to get food and stuff, and we just sat there for no reason because we thought we were cool kids, and like there was no one there Oh shit. Okay. Just had a bit of just a tad bit of problems with my recording. First time I ever used Audacity. Voice crack. Oh yeah, we walked in there because we thought we were cool kids. We sat down and everything, and we just like sat on my phone or on our phones. And our school has Wi-Fi, so I hopped on the Wi-Fi and just like started sitting around playing Pokemon Go. And something that was actually really cool to me was like the school had Pokemon around it, and it was like fuck yeah. So I was just sitting there. I was like fucking Pidgeys, and it was some like low stuff though. It was like, oh, you want a Pidgey? Here's a fucking Pidgey. Like there's not 1,000 of them elsewhere. And without realizing it, the warning bell had already gone off before we got in there. So we thought we were good. We thought we were like going to be warned before school starts off, and then a bell hits, like a bell tolls, and it's like, wait, is that our bell? And I look at my phone, and it's 8:25 when classes are supposed to be starting, and we were like, shit. So we rush over to his locker. And then he has to get stuff out of his locker because he came prepared. I did not. He came with binders. I did not. I didn't even come with a fucking backpack or pencils. And we were like, shoot, are we supposed to go to our first block? And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, let's go to our first block. That was the wrong answer. We were supposed to go to our advisory. And we walk in there and we were just chilling, and like the teacher was like, there's your schedules, and we're like, none of these are ours. First sign that something that should have been the first sign I saw that we weren't supposed to be in there. And like we continued, and we just like sat in the corner, and everything went dandily. That everything went like smoothly, like no one questioned we were there, no one in the previous advisory. It was a junior advisory as well, so we thought we were in the right place. It wasn't like sophomore or like freshman or anything, or senior. Everyone knew who we were, and we were just sitting there, you know, and like we went. Eventually, our class was called over to the assembly. We get like dismissed one by one, and we get through with the assembly, and we're like, shoot, are we supposed to go back to our first class or our second class? Or second block? And I was like, I think we're supposed to go to our first block. Like, go back to our first block. And we go in there, entirely different group of people, because we were supposed to head to our advisories, not our first block. Before that, and we were like, shoot, I don't think we belong here. And everyone was just like kind of looking at us awkwardly. And freaking the teacher was like, where do you boys belong? And we were like, we don't know. And then we just kind of like walked back out. I was like, shoot, are we supposed to go to our second blocks? And he was like, maybe. And I went over to my second block, and his second block is like all the way across the school. And mine's just like, I don't know, like 30 feet away. And when I got over to my second block, I walk in, Dimitri is over there just like staring at me, and he's like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, I'm in this class. And he's a good friend. We talked about it, and we went over like our schedules with each other, and he's like, dude, you're not in here, you've passed this class. And I was like, what? And I was like, dude, you've passed this class. I was like, shit. And that turned out to be a class I'd already passed, not my second block. And I was like, fuck. So I walk out of there, and like one of the teachers is still standing outside. I was like, where am I supposed to be? And she's like, first block. And I was like, shit. So like I had to go and find my friend, who didn't know where he was supposed to be either. And when I got over to where his class should be, he was walking out. I was like, yeah, there's a bunch of fucking kids in there. I was like, well, we're supposed to be in our first blocks. And I was like, yeah. So we walk over to our first block, and while we're walking down, we talk to each other, and we were like, we should just walk in there plain face, like nothing happened. And I was like, yeah, let's do that. And we just walked in. Everyone was staring at us, and we just walked over, sat in the back. Gail handed us some like pieces of paper, and I was like, yeah. So that's how my first day went. So just thought I'd tell this beautiful story with you guys. And if you enjoyed, like and subscribe. If you didn't, call me a white boy in the comments below. Just like, I don't fucking care. Just do whatever you want. If you don't like me, just don't watch me. You know? Anyways, have a good day. As always, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.